What's good?
Hey, welcome back. This is LeijaLift. I'm Juan.
I'm Victor.
And this is LeijaLift, where we podcast for we lift. Don't forget to check us out at eliteathlete.online. If you have any questions over your physical health or any questions over health or nutrition, you can find us on Instagram on LeijaLift_
and Victor Leia_.
I forgot it for a little bit. And let's start with the Spurs getting that W last night.
On the Jazz.
On the playoff team. Playoff contender.
Yeah, I think they're actually they're right below or fighting for the 8th seed, I think. Or no, that's Memphis. That's Memphis.
That's Memphis, yeah. No, the Jazz are up there. The Jazz are a little bit higher on the totem pole. They are around, I think, above the Rockets.
So like what, third, fourth?
No, because it's the Grizzly. It's a Grizzly. It's OKC. Rockets. No, Grizzly, Mavs, OKC, Rockets, and then the Jazz. So they're like in the 4th position.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Not bad. Well, it's Clippers, Lakers, Clippers, and there's one more team on there. I'm blanking out on them. Oh, Nuggets.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The Nuggets and the Jazz. Yeah, so they did pretty good.
They played a good game, yeah.
Yeah.
DeJounte is the one that's coming in this game, so I know we were talking about how the offense should be run more through him.
Right.
And so I agree. I think that's probably the better decision, considering also that we're probably losing DeMar and LaMarcus next year.
Is it next year or the year after 2021?
I mean,
I
think this is DeMar's option year,
yeah.
Which, give me the record that we have.
Yeah.
He's probably not very happy with it. And,
well, I mean, he's part of it. Contribute, bro.
I mean, he
contribute to it. He's his option year, and then the year after that, it's like a lot of contracts that are
that'll be a lot of basically his first contract year.
Yeah, because I mean they're gonna have like what I think from what I was looking at is like 4 players on the roster after 2021.
Is Patty Mills one of them?
Might be Patty Mills, Aldridge, DeRozan if he decides to stay. Then they've got like Forbes, White.
Oh yeah, Forbes and White. I know those for sure.
Jakob. Yeah, I think they're only keeping like DJ, Lonnie, some of the rookies on there.
So what do you think? We keep Jakob?
I think so.
I mean, he's what, like 21, 22
he's
right
done,
now?
He's done
so much time.
He's done well. I don't think they give him enough time.
No.
On the floor, I think they should probably put him with the starting lineup. Really.
But I know I said that a while back, and when he did play him, they did so. Well,
yeah.
I think as a team, the unit, they did a lot better defensively.
And he still does good when he comes off the bench. I mean, rebound wise and blocks. Maybe not scoring all the time, but
he's not a scorer.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
No, especially if we have Marcus at the 4, then we're good to go.
Or if you play him with DeJounte Murray, it'll probably give him better looks too.
The 2, yeah, we'll give him a little lob here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think that we should run the offense through him and just kind of. Well, the rest of the guys, they have the role, so let DeJounte take the driver's seat. I mean, you just gave him a pretty nice contract.
Yeah.
Got him locked in, so you might as well start taking advantage of his leadership and developing him now, rather than waiting until we lose DeMar, LaMarcus, and everybody else.
And you've got a really athletic guy with Lonnie Walker.
That too.
That's another weapon. Speed, really, with DeJounte Murray and Lonnie Walker. You have a lot of speed.
Oh, they're both really, really young too.
Yeah, they're quick. They're quick and they can get to the rim.
Maybe our new trio, Lonnie, DeJounte, Jakob.
Maybe. Well, it depends on what the Spurs decide. Yeah. Anything else?
And not
it's
Spurs.
the first game after the All-Star
break.
So.
First game, first win.
Yeah, and they still got 2 more road games against the Rockets. Not the Rockets. OKC and another team. But I forgot the other.
I know the Rockets is sometime in March, but not.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Anything else? We
No,
good?
Not Spurs wise.
Alrighty, moving on to diet and nutrition with Victor.
Yeah. So
what was the question for the week?
Basically, the question that somebody asked me this week was how I felt about the vegan diet and should they try it because it's trendy.
Vegan diet.
So
well, I'm just gonna say I wouldn't personally. I'm not gonna do it, but
yeah,
go on.
I did. I personally did. I did enjoy it, but that doesn't mean somebody else can't. It doesn't mean it's not going to work.
So you tried it?
I tried it unsuccessfully. Really, I just couldn't do it for like 3 days.
Did you try it, or did you just do it for like one meal and then
No, like
call it a try?
I tried it like it was like a 3-day trial.
I mean, I guess if you want to put it that way,
trial.
if you want to put it that way, I guess I've just sat at like and eaten like a whole bag of Oreos or a bag of Oreos. So I guess that's called veganism.
Oreos are vegan.
I guess I already did. I tried it too. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I did like it for like 3 days, and it just for me, I like my lean meats, my chicken, my beef, and all that stuff. So for me, it wasn't a thing. It doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else, and doesn't mean it won't be enjoyable for somebody else. But the issue with the question for me was trending. Don't do it because it's trendy, because at some point you're not going to like it, or you may not like it. You may enjoy it, awesome, but if you don't, you're gonna fall right back to doing something else, and now you did something because you thought it would be cool.
Yeah.
And so that would be the downside to that. But if you're going to do it, you're going to maybe struggle a little bit here and there with protein, but it definitely can be done. And you might have to supplement a few things, maybe like iron and some B vitamins, just depending, or not really depending. You're going to have to.
I was gonna say that for the nutritional aspect of it, most people probably don't do the research on it and don't substitute what's
missing,
what meats would, or what any type of meat would provide for you, and it's not substituted with when people do it. Some people do. Some people, I'm sure, they do a great job at substituting whatever micronutrients they are missing from their diet. But most, I would say, and I'm just kind of guessing here.
You're right.
Probably don't do that type of research and don't go in depth as far as like what the body actually needs and what they're losing out on when they stop eating meat. Yeah.
So I've seen people do it successfully, people that obviously have gone all in. They love it and it works for them. That's awesome. But I've also seen people that would just do it, or when they go eat, just be like, is that vegan? Cool, and they'll eat it. They have no clue, they're not tracking anything. So at the end of the day, if you're not tracking anything, you can still gain weight. It can still work against you if you're not properly tracking things.
Yeah.
In terms of calories and whatnot. I will say you might feel amazing because you're gonna have obviously a lot of fiber and nutrients, so you're not gonna have that bloated feeling all the time with like sodium and just things that will come with some of the other foods. But for me, I felt hungry. I'm used to eating, 2,800 calories a day, and I just felt hungry.
Yeah.
It was so hard to get that from, a vegan diet. That's where kind of like that beef and like those 10 ounces of chicken or something like that would have came in handy, a couple hundred calories every single meal.
Yeah, that's a lot of protein to substitute if you want to make gains too.
I mean, like I said, I know people who have done it successfully. It's going to be easy. Maybe not, but if you
or financially feasible too.
That too, it's going to be a little more costly and
could be.
If you want,
I haven't done it, so I don't know if it would be, but I imagine to substitute all that protein.
I mean, in my opinion, it would be, but in terms of cost efficiency and whatnot, that's entirely up to you.
Again, that's if you're trying to build muscle and make gains. Like, can you do it just to maintain a certain body? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to make the gains on a vegan diet, I think that would make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah. And so I know that some people have done it, and I know Arnold is vegan now, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
And so that's kind of also another Arnold's vegan. Well, yeah, but he also abused steroids for I don't know how many years, and now he's kind of trying to give himself the best life. So that's another part of it. But obviously he's doing it successfully because he still looks great at whatever 70 years of age he is.
Yeah.
So it's doable, and if you enjoy it, awesome. But don't do it because it's trendy.
All right. So actually, speaking of trendy, the only thing that would have been cool to do when it was trendy is invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Just a thought, because I was randomly doing the math this morning. If I would have invested in Bitcoin when it first started, how rich I would have been now.
Netflix too was the other one.
No, Bitcoin.
I know Bitcoin, but Netflix.
Bitcoin was worth less than a penny. Right now it's worth like Well, at its peak, it was worth like almost $20,000. So I did the math, and I would have, if I would have done it just like efficiently, I would have been $16 billion richer if I would have invested a small amount.
So you would have invested $100, you would have been.
If you would have invested like $100, I think you would have been like a couple $100 million. Yeah. Not that it's relevant. I just, speaking of trendy, I was doing that math this morning. That it is relevant now because we're 10 years past its prime. But yeah. Just thought I'd let the people know. I could have been a billionaire if I would have put money into Bitcoin at the right time.
Well, you may not be here right now. If
That's true. Or I could have started Elite Athlete a lot sooner. Or not. Probably not.
I mean, you wouldn't need it to.
Yeah, probably not. I probably would have like lost it all already. Probably kind of Vegas would have had a permanent like hotel room for me or whatever.
Put $1 billion on Reddit or whatever.
So are you sure?
Table is.
All right. Anyways, anything else for your topic?
Not veganism. No, I think this covers the basis of it.
All right. Last but not least, going over hip mobility. So this is very important when you're working out, when you're doing specifically working on your legs on leg day, really. Leg press machine, squats, deadlifts. Hip mobility is going to be important so you don't abuse the back. And in very, very general, I was thinking of how can I break this down simply. So the best way that I would think of it is for people that have a very, like a lot of arch in their back or excessive lordosis. I think the best way to work on hip mobility in that manner is working on like hip extension or hip, how would you say it? Hip extension or hip abduction movements, like just focusing on hip mobility. First exercise that we're going over is a donkey kick. So here we're focusing on keeping everything stable but the hip. We're working on hip mobility into extension, again for those that have excessive lumbar lordosis or a big arch in the back. Now this is a wrong way to do it. This is back is moving, twisting, arching. Don't go for the height, go for how much the hip can get out of the movement, okay? Next exercise, hip abduction or fire hydrant exercise. Good for hip mobility as well. Very important movement when you're squatting, deadlifting, etc. And this is how not to do it. So again, twisting in the back, going for height. Don't go for height, go as far as the hip will allow you, not how much you can get out of the movement. And then for people that have like a very flat back or like not as much curvature in the low back, you might want to focus on hip mobility exercises that are going to help with hip flexion. So exercises where you're doing like how would you call it, in an all fours position and you're rocking the hips backward, calling it like a hand heel rock. And this is just a very general, like, of course I would probably come to me, Elite Athlete, to get it checked out. But for people in general that have like a very flat back, I might want to focus more on hip flexion mobility or the way, or making sure the hips are able to bend a little bit better. This is a hand heel rock for those who have a flat back or don't have enough curvature in the back. So notice here in this video, I'm bringing my butt all the way to my heels. I'm actually creating a little bit more of a rounding in the low back. So if your back is flat or you don't have any rounding in the back, you want to create a little bit of rounding or nice curvature in the back, which is normal, and let the butt come all the way to the heels. How not to do it, notice the back is rounded, so this is the movement we're trying to avoid. So in the previous video, you had a nice curvature in the back. Now bringing your butt all the way to the heels is going to be important. Again, don't round the back out. Key. So yeah, general rule of thumb, just to improve your health when you're doing in like your leg day or working on any other exercise, really running. It'll affect your running too, affect walking, just general activities. General rule of thumb, flat back or increased excessive lordosis on the back. All right, that's it for me.
That's it.
All right. So yeah, You can. Anything else?
No.
No.
Find us on Instagram at
No.
Victor Leija.
Are you sure? No, nothing else. I'm joking.
I was like, wait, what am I saying?
You're not forgetting anything.
Yeah, no, you got me on that one.
All right. You can find us on LeijaLift.online. Ask us your questions on there, or just call us up on our phones. Just nothing past 10 because I'll probably be asleep.
Yeah.
Find me on LeijaLift_
And Victor Leija_
on Instagrams. All right. Shout out to Bitcoin. Damn. Come back, Bitcoin. That's it for us today. Es todo. Dale.